In a highly anticipated court hearing this Wednesday, Bryan Kohberger, formerly a criminology PhD student, was sentenced to 4 consecutive life terms without parole for the brutal November 2022 murders of University of Idaho students Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. In addition, he received a 10-year prison sentence for burglary and was ordered to pay $270,000 in fines and civil penalties, including $50,000 per murder charge plus $5,000 toward each victim's family. Bryan Kohberger, born November 21, 1994, earned an associate's degree in psychology 2018, followed by a bachelor's and master's in criminal justice from DeSales University by 2022. In summer 2022, began a criminology PhD at Washington State University, where he worked as a teaching assistant. Faculty had raised concerns about his behavior shortly before the murders. On November 13, 2022, a masked intruder entered the off-campus home and stabbed the 4 students to death while they slept. After 6 weeks, he was arrested at his parents' Pennsylvania home on December 30, 2022. Investigators linked him to the crime through multiple pieces of evidence. DNA from Kohberger recovered on a knife she found at the crime scene. Surveillance footage identifying his white Hyundai Elantra near the residence. Cell phone location data placing him in Moscow, Idaho, around the time of the murders. Purchase records indicating he bought a military-style knife and matching sheath. Despite this, no motive has ever been confirmed. An investigator stated there is no known connection between Kohberger and either the victims or the surviving roommates. Bethany Funk and Dylan Mortensen, the 2 surviving roommates, describe ongoing trauma and panic attacks, with Mortensen calling Kohberger evil and less than human. Family members condemn Kohberger, some with anger, others offering forgiveness. Kaylee's sister, Olivia Goncalves, labeled him a coward. Xana's aunt, Kim Kernodle, expressed forgiveness and extended an offer to speak if Kohberger ever wishes to explain. Stepfather Scott Laramie described Madison as someone who always brought us joy and reaffirmed a stance against bitterness. Presiding Judge Stephen Hippler delivered a solemn condemnation, calling Kohberger a faceless coward and noting his lack of remorse. He emphasized there was no conceivable reason that could justify such violence, urging that this day marks the end of Kohberger's 15 minutes of fame. His waiver of appeal makes the sentencing final. Investigators continue to maintain the motive behind the killings remains unknown, despite thorough DNA, cell phone, and forensic investigations. The Moscow Police Department plans to publicly release investigation records in the coming weeks. The closure of this case marks the formal end of legal proceedings, but the emotional wounds persist. The community, survivors, and families face the long road of recovery and remembrance. Meanwhile, questions remain. Why were these 4 targeted? And what drove a well-educated criminology student to such violence? Those questions, for now.
Trendversa. Real talk, real trends.